For the monsters in the main deck, we run 3 Odd Eyes Arc Dragon. If a Odd Eyes card or card we control is destroyed by battle or card effect, we are allowed to special summon an Odd Eyes monster from our hand, deck, or grave. But the Pendulum effect is a hard once per turn. Speaking of destroying Pendulum monsters, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Basically, the only reason why we run it is because of its second Pendulum effect. That being, during the end phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, add from your deck to your hand a Pendulum monster with 1500 or less attack. And a good contender, if you want to go there, is Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. Once per turn during the end phase, if your opponent activated a card that targeted an Odd Eyes Pendulum monster you control, and no other cards, you can special summon this card from your extra deck. Special summon this card from your Pendulum zone to your side of the field, and take one face of Odd Eyes Pendulum monster from your extra deck and place it into your Pendulum zones. And its monster effect, once per turn, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field that was special summoned from the extra deck, and it has its effects negated until the end of this turn. You could also go for the Perform Power Synchron Pendulum play. Basically, once per turn, target a card and your Pendulum zone special summon it. It has its effects negated, but immediately after that, synchro summon using those 2 monsters as synchro material. Or, if you want, just go for an easy fusion summon using Performer Power Odd Eyes Dissolver. But that'll wrap it up for the Odd Eyes. For the Rockets, we do run 3 Rokket Tracer. Quick effect, target a face-up card we control, destroy it. And if we do, special summon a Rokket from our deck, except Tracer itself. Also, you're locked from the extra deck. You're locked in the extra deck by only special summoning dark monsters. But that's okay, because the majority of the extra deck doesn't really care about that lockdown. But for the kind of older Rockets, Magnet Rokket basically targeted by a Link monster, and you can send a monster your opponent controls to the grave. From the field to the grave. Silver Rokket Dragon, look at your opponent's extra deck and banish one of the monsters of your choice. Auto Rokket, send a spell or trap on the field to the grave. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. I can't pronounce that to save my life. But anyways, targeted by a Link, and you can make one face-up monster on the field unable to attack. Also, it will have its effects negated. So kind of like the Persona, but possibly a little easier to get out, especially with the kind of cards we run in the deck. And 2 Rokket Synchron. Unlike the other Rockets, this one doesn't have its effects activated when targeted by a Link monster. But anyways, when this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 level 5 or higher Dark Dragon monster in your grave, so summon it to your side of the field in defense position, but it has its effects negated and destroy it during the end phase. Also, you cannot special summon extra deck monsters for the rest of this turn except dark monsters. And I figured, why not? 1 Exploder Rokket Dragon, just for the additional 2000 burn, because I think it's just that fun of a card to run. And if you notice now, we are going to be destroying a lot of cards in this deck, so I figured, why not go for the Chronograph package. Chronograph, basically, when a card or cards we control is destroyed by battle card effect, we can special summon it, then in a sense, we get a free special summon from our hand. Chronograph special summon, then you get to special summon an additional monster from your hand to your side of the field. And going with Chronograph, we run the Time Gazer Magician. And yeah, that'll do it for the monsters. So just popping in from the future in some weird way, future editing. So after recording, I realized that the main deck only had 39 monsters, so I'm here to suggest a monster to fill up that 40 card slot. Introducing Odd Eyes Phantasma Dragon. Its Pendulum effect isn't that good. It basically just makes you discard, you can discard a card and add a face-up Dragon Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Not that good, depending on whatever's in your extra deck, but its main purpose, I guess you could say, is in its monster effect. That being, if you control 2 cards in your Pendulum zone and a face-up allies Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand, but you are locked out of Pendulum summoning for the rest of this turn. And during damage calculation, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can make that monster lose 1,000 attack for each face-up Pendulum monster in your extra deck during damage calculation only. You can only use each effect of Odd-Eyes Phantasma Dragon once per turn. Now, hopefully this makes up for the, I guess you could say, miscount of cards in the main deck, because that did happen to me last time. I don't remember which deck it was, but it was pretty embarrassing. But if you don't want to go for a Phantasma Dragon, I would honestly suggest going for another silver Rokket, for basically because it allows you to look into your opponent's extra deck and see what cards they're playing. You can banish a card in their extra deck, and if you happen to lose, say in round 1, you can and whatever is in your side deck, you can prepare for round 2 and go for another, I guess you could say, extra deck banish again. But yeah, again, I do apologize, but I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. For the spells of the deck, we run 3 Sky Iris as well as 1 Terraforming. Sky Iris basically to protect our Odd-Eyes Scale, as well as destroy one other face-up card we control to add a Odd-Eyes card from our deck to our hand. Another good card of the deck, Spiral Flame Strike. I have to activate one of the following. If you control an Odd-Eyes card, target a card on the field, destroy it. Or add from your deck to your hand a level 7 Odd-Eyes monster from your deck, or level 7 Odd-Eyes Pendulum monster from your extra deck. For the Rockets, we gotta run at least 2 quick launch. Special summon a Rokket from your deck, but it cannot attack. Also, it is destroyed in the end phase. However, with this deck, more than likely we're probably gonna target it with a link to trigger its link effect, or link it away for a link 2 or higher link monster if required. And the majority of the deck, or the whole deck itself, is dark, so 3 Allure Darkness, 1 Return of the Dragon Lords, target a level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your grave, special summon it. If a dragon monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your grave instead. Alright, just wanted to fix that. Dragon Shrine. Send a dragon from your deck to the grave. Then if that monster is in your grave, sorry, out of breath. If that monster happens to be a normal monster, you can send an additional dragon monster from your deck to your grave. You can only use that effect once per turn. Monster Reborn and Guard Dragon Catalysm. Basically, triple a dragon, then target 2 cards on the field, destroy them. You can only activate 1 Guard Dragon Catalysm per turn. But that will wrap it up for the spells and traps. For the monsters in the extra deck, we run 1 Performer Power Gatling Ghoul, 1 Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon, 1 Burrow Load Furious Dragon, 1 Meteor Burst, 1 Savage Dragon, Crystal Wing as well for the other negation, Absolute Dragon just for the easy Odd-Eyes special summons, and we also run 2 Quad Burrow Dragons. Requires 2 dragon monsters, including a Rokket, which is easy for the deck, and you can discard a card, then target a face-up monster on the field. However, you cannot special summon monsters from the you cannot special summon link monsters from the extra deck that are link 2 or lower for the rest of this turn. And also destroy that monster. Destroy that targeted monster. And if that targeted monster happen to be a link monster, special summon Rokket monsters with different names from your hand or deck up to the number of that monster's link ratings. And we just run 1 Booster Dragon, just another card to trigger the Rockets. Requires 2 Rokket monsters. Once per turn, target one other face-up monster on the field, aka the Rockets. It gains 500 attack and defense. However, that Rokket isn't going to be on the field that long. And if your opponent cannot activate cards to effect and respond to this card's activation, and if this link summon card happen to be destroyed by battle or card effect, enter to the grave, you can target one other dragon in your grave, special summon it to your side of the field. You can only use this effect of Boosted Dragon once per turn. Here's one triple press for the easy negation, one borrow sword dragon, and finally finishing up the final boss of the deck, that being Unchained Abomination. So yeah, that'll actually do it for the extra deck, but I actually wanted to point something out. The reason why Unchained Abomination is in the deck, for one, it is a Link 4, it is a little hard to get out because it does require 2 monsters, including a Link monster. However, if a card or cards is on the field is destroyed by card effect, except by the effect of Unchained, if a card or card on the field is destroyed by card effect that isn't by Abomination or by battle, you can target one card on the field and destroy it, which, because you are targeting with a Link monster, you could target your Rokket, and at this point you get it. And when another monster is destroyed by battle, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. So in a sense, it's a double whammy for your Rockets to trigger their effects, or if you want, even pop something your opponent controls. I mean, the choice is yours. The choices are kind of limited. No, not limited, unlimited, I mean. And during the end phase, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. You can only use each effect of Unchained Abomination once per turn. And sorry for rambling, but that is going to wrap it up for the extra deck. Oh, and if you have any suggestions, by all means, comment them down below.